Hello, this is Marianne, and for the next hour I will be reading articles and features from the July-August 2026 issue of the Jewish Journal on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Page 1, The Promise of America by Miriam Abramovich. This month our nation will mark a tremendous milestone, the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. For generations of American Jews, the freedoms enshrined in our nation's founding documents have created opportunities that were unimaginable throughout much of Jewish history. The ability to gather openly as Jews, build vibrant institutions, practice our faith freely, and contribute fully to civic life is something we should never take for granted. For centuries, Jews have understood that our own well-being is intertwined with the broader society in which we live. We are instructed by the prophet Jeremiah to seek the welfare of the city, for in its prosperity you shall prosper. For many Jewish families, this is part of our lived experience. I often think about my father-in-law, who grew up in the former Soviet Union, a refusenik who was repeatedly denied permission to emigrate. He eventually left Soviet Moldova, built a new life in Israel, and later settled in the United States. Raised in a society that actively suppressed Jewish religious and cultural life, he was part of a generation that reclaimed a Jewish identity many had been denied the opportunity to fully explore. He also developed a deep pride in being an American citizen and in protecting the freedoms this country affords. His history is a powerful reminder of the value of freedom. It is something to cherish, protect, and strengthen for future generations. The blessings of Jewish life in America are extraordinary, but they should never be mistaken for guarantees. In recent years, Jewish communities have faced a significant rise in anti-Semitic incidents, some violent, as well as threats and security challenges. As a result, protecting Jewish institutions has become an increasingly important responsibility for federations and community leaders. Protecting those freedoms requires participation from our community and our partners in government. In May, I led a small Buffalo delegation to Washington, D.C., where we joined more than 400 Jewish leaders from 82 communities across the country for Jewish Federations of North America's Security Fly-In. Together, we met with members of Congress and their staffs to advocate for increased federal partnership in helping keep Jewish communities and other faith-based institutions safe. Alongside colleagues from Rochester and Syracuse, we discussed the very real and rising costs of security, costs that are becoming increasingly difficult for our communities to bear alone. Our advocacy focused on strengthening the nonprofit security grant program and supporting bipartisan legislation designed to improve coordination and protections for houses of worship and community institutions. While these conversations were rooted in Jewish security, the benefits extend far beyond the Jewish community. When people can gather safely in churches, mosques, synagogues, schools, and community centers, our entire society is stronger. Advocacy is one way we respond to the challenges of this moment, but security is not an end unto itself. The goal is not simply to protect Jewish institutions. The goal is to ensure that Jewish life can continue to flourish. That is why we continue to gather publicly. We celebrate Jewish life openly. We invest in community. We welcome new families. We teach our children. we will engage as Jews, as citizens of this country we are fortunate to call home. Jewish life has endured for thousands of years, not simply because Jews survived hardship, but because we continued to build, create, learn, and contribute to the societies around us. As we celebrate our nation's 250th anniversary of independence this month, I am filled with gratitude for the freedoms we enjoy and confidence in what we can continue to build together. Wishing you and your loved ones a happy Independence Day and a joyful, safe, and meaningful summer. Page 3. One powerful vision leads to 100 kindness suitcases. Surrounded by district leaders from around Western New York, librarians, educators, students, volunteers, and Jewish professionals, the Holocaust Education Research Organization of the Buffalo Jewish Federation celebrated 100 kindness suitcases in Western New York schools. Held at Sheridan Hill Elementary in the Clarence Central School District, the occasion began with a brand new lesson for fourth graders on how they can amplify voices of kindness and courage. The exercise, taught by Hero director Lauren Bloomberg and Hero manager Wendy Weisbrot, was followed by heartfelt remarks and a reception. Federation was proud to present Wendy with an Achievement Award to recognize her work from the inception of an idea to present day, where that idea is realized in a tangible curriculum that reaches thousands of students. The kindness suitcases can be found in 30 school districts and 7 private schools throughout Western New York and neighboring communities. On June the 4th, Holocaust Survivor Day, the event carried even greater significance as Federation and Hero also honored the resilience, courage, and enduring contributions of Holocaust survivors. What we really celebrate in partnership with educators is a shared belief that small acts of kindness can create lasting change, one student, one school, and one community at a time, said Wendy. Page 4. On 716 Day, a chance to support the greater good, July the 16th, better known as 716 Day, has evolved into a celebration of everything Western New Yorkers love about our region. Recognizing the power of that hometown pride, the Buffalo Bills and Buffalo Sabres foundations launched Give 716 6 years ago, turning a day of Buffalo love into a day of giving. Since its inception, the campaign has helped more than 580 local nonprofits raise nearly $6 million for the organizations and causes that make Western New York stronger. For local Jewish agencies, this year's Give 716 Day is a chance to come together and collaborate on our greater cause. Buffalo Jewish Federation, Jewish Community Center, Jewish Family Services, and Hillel of Buffalo are joining forces for this year's campaign, asking the community to help Jewish Buffalo help others. A gift in support of these organizations on Give 716 Day gives community members a chance to help JFS support families, JCC build community, Hillel build identity, and Federation secure the future. The goal is to expand Jewish Buffalo's reach and ensure that by working together, these agencies can collectively raise more dollars than each would on its own to go back into the community. Foundation for Jewish Philanthropies has generously agreed to match dollars raised in support of our community. Give 716 Day features a 25-hour event that includes matching hours, giveaways, and prizes made possible by the support of the Bills and Sabres foundations and local area supports. Stay tuned to your emails and social media pages as we get closer for more information. Help Jewish Buffalo help others. Swing for security. This summer, the Buffalo Jewish Federation will proudly host its annual summer celebration golf tournament on Monday, July the 20th, bringing together community members, supporters, and leaders for a meaningful day dedicated to strengthening and protecting Jewish Buffalo. For more information, please visit buffalojewishfederation.org/summer-celebration. Page 6. East Side Garden Walk returns Sunday, July the 19th. Buffalo Jewish Federation is excited to partner with several local Christian and Jewish groups for the 5th Interfaith East Side Garden Walk on Sunday, July the 19th, from noon to 4 p.m. Working with the popularity of this tour from the past 4 years, a federation will join with members from area Jewish and Christian congregations to spend time together while visiting several extraordinary local gardens on Buffalo's east side. Participants will travel in their own cars to several specific east side gardens, featuring speakers at each site, including guide Ellen Goldstein. The meeting point will be provided closer to the event. The East Side Garden Walk began in 2018 and featured 42 gardens in over 14 different neighborhoods. The East Side Garden Walk Tour, which this year will occur on July 18th and 19th, now has over 100 gardens and includes public artwork. The walk is an incredible opportunity to build community, engage with friends and neighbors, and form new relationships on Buffalo's east side. There is no fee to participate, and registration is required by July the 14th. Register at bit.ly/eastsidewalk26. For questions, please contact Ellen Goldstein at goldsteinellen4@gmail.com. GRT announces ambitious 24th season. Following a season marked by strong attendance, critical acclaim, and record-setting recognition, the Jewish Repertoire Theater of Western New York has announced its 24th season and an ambitious lineup of 3 productions that continue the company's commitment to producing thought-provoking, socially relevant work. The announcement comes on the heels of one of the most successful seasons in the company's history. JRT recently received a company record 12 RT Award nominations for its 2025-2026 productions, including Conscience, Sheltered, and Just for Us. The nominations reflect excellence across performance, direction, design, and production, underscoring the organization's growing artistic profile within the Western New York theater community. This past season has been extraordinary for our company, said Adam Yellen, Director of Performing Arts. The continued growth of our audiences and the recognition of our work speak to the strength of our artists and the engagement of our community. The 2026-2027 season is unified by a thematic exploration of past, present, and future, with each production examining questions of identity, truth, and responsibility through distinct narrative lenses. The season opens with The Last Yiddish Speaker by Deborah Zoe Laufer, October 29th until November 22nd, a near-future drama set in a version of America shaped by authoritarian rule. The play follows a father and daughter living in secrecy as Jewish refugees, whose fragile stability is disrupted by the arrival of a Yiddish-speaking stranger, forcing a reckoning with identity, memory, and survival. In February, JRT will present The Soap Myth by Jeff Cohen, February the 4th until the 28th, 2027. A probing and timely work that examines the complexities of historical truth, centered on a journalist investigating a controversial Holocaust narrative. The play raises questions about evidence, memory, and the ethical responsibility of storytelling. The season concludes with Church and State by Jason Odell Williams, May the 6th until the 30th, 2027, a contemporary political drama that explores the intersection of faith and public life. As a Senate campaign is thrown into turmoil, the play highlights the role of a Jewish advisor navigating issues of belief, identity, and political accountability. In addition to its main stage productions, JRT will continue its slate of ancillary programming, including panel discussions, post-show talkbacks, and its stage-to-screen film series, all designed to deepen audience engagement and extend the themes of each production beyond the stage. Special events will include The Scribe, a one-person performance exploring the origins of the Torah, as well as the company's annual cabaret fundraising celebrating the legacy of Jewish composers. Season subscriptions are now available through the jewishrepertorytheater.org. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from the Jewish Journal on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Page 7, Amherst Kindness Initiative, One Good Deed at a Time. Amherst is proving that small acts of kindness can make a big impact through its new Good Deeds Initiative, a town-wide campaign encouraging residents to be good neighbors to one another and share acts of kindness throughout 2026. Led by Amherst Town Supervisor Sean Lavin, the initiative has set an ambitious goal of documenting 500 good deeds across the community by year's end. The initiative invites residents to recognize and submit examples of everyday kindness, from helping a neighbor shovel snow and clearing fire hydrants after storms, to donating to local food pantries or supporting those in need. The campaign's online platform highlights real stories from Amherst residents, showcasing the many ways compassion strengthens neighborhoods. Recent submissions include residents assisting elderly neighbors, recognizing exceptional town employees, volunteering for community causes, and simply lending a hand when it matters most. In Judaism, we often recognize these acts of service as mitzvot, which is the plural of mitzvah, a Hebrew term for commandment, often understood as good deeds or acts of empathy that connect humanity to God. While not all Western New York's Jews live in Amherst, many do, and the Good Deeds Initiative is an opportunity to elevate the Jewish values reflected in the performance of mitzvot. I am very excited to be partnering with the Buffalo Jewish Federation for the town's Good Deed Initiative. Our world has too much division, and this simple but important initiative works to counter that, said Supervisor Lavin. By doing good deeds, we strengthen our community and propel a positive ripple effect. Even small acts of kindness can have a big impact. Since launching earlier this year, the effort has steadily gained momentum. Town officials recently reported more than 135 submitted good deeds, a sign that the community is embracing the challenge. Residents can submit their own stories directly through the Town of Amherst Good Deeds webpage, where the growing collection of shared experiences serves as both inspiration and reminder that kindness is contagious. At a time when communities often feel divided, Amherst's Good Deeds Initiative offers a simple but powerful message. Meaningful change begins with ordinary people choosing to care for one another, one good deed at a time, Amherst is building a stronger, more connected town. Page 8. Turning mourning into dancing, the journey from Tisha B'Av to Tu B'Av. The Jewish calendar has a remarkable way of teaching life lessons through time itself. Perhaps nowhere is this more evident than in the relationship between two summer observances that occur just 6 days apart, Tisha B'Av and Tu B'Av. At first glance, these holidays could not be more different. Tisha B'Av, the ninth day of the Hebrew month of Av, is the saddest day on the Jewish calendar. It commemorates the destruction of both the first and second temples in Jerusalem, along with numerous other tragedies that have befallen the Jewish people throughout history. It is a day marked by fasting, mourning, reflection, and the reading of the Book of Lamentations. Just days later comes Tu B'Av, the 15th day of Av, a holiday so joyful that the Talmud teaches there were no greater festivals for Israel than Yom Kippur and Tu B'Av. Today it is often known as the Jewish holiday of love, friendship, and matchmaking, celebrating with gatherings, community events, and expressions of connection. How can Judaism move so quickly from profound grief to profound joy? The answer may reveal one of the most enduring lessons of Jewish life. It parallels the idea stated at many Jewish funerals: life and death are twins, grief and joy go hand in hand. Remembering what was lost. Tisha B'Av asks us to remember not only the destruction of buildings, but also the destruction of relationships. Jewish tradition teaches that while the first temple was destroyed because of idolatry and moral failings, the second temple fell because of sinat shinam, baseless hatred among fellow Jews. This teaching shifts our focus from ancient history to contemporary responsibility. The loss of the temple was not simply a military defeat, it was a communal breakdown. Each year, Tisha B'Av challenges us to ask difficult questions. How do we treat one another? Where are divisions weakened in our communities? What can we do to strengthen the bonds that connect us? These questions resonate deeply today. In a world often characterized by polarization and disagreement, the call to rebuild community through respect, empathy, and understanding remains as urgent as ever. A holiday of hope. Then comes Tu B'Av. According to the Mishnah, young women would dress in white and gather in the vineyards around Jerusalem, where matches were made and new families began. Beyond its romantic associations, Tu B'Av became a celebration of unity, reconciliation, and the possibility of new beginnings. If Tisha B'Av reminds us that what happens when communities fracture, Tu B'Av reminds us what becomes possible when people come together. The timing is intentional. Judaism does not leave us sitting indefinitely in mourning. Instead, it guides us toward healing. The calendar itself teaches that loss is not the final chapter. Rebuilding is building the future together. The 6 days between these holidays carry a profound message. Judaism acknowledges pain, loss, and disappointment, but it refuses to stop there. Instead, it challenges us to transform mourning into meaning and memory into action. In every generation, we are called to rebuild what has been broken, not only buildings or institutions, but relationships, trust, and community. As we observe Tisha B'Av and celebrate Tu B'Av this summer, may we be inspired by both holidays. May we remember our past with honesty, embrace one another with compassion, and continue building a Jewish community rooted in belonging, connection, and hope. For in the Jewish story, even our darkest days can become the foundation for renewal. Support Circle walk and talks take shape through JFS. Jewish Family Services of Western New York has long been committed to providing purpose-built, intentional care to the Western New York Jewish community, stemming from assisting Jewish refugees arriving to Buffalo in the mid-1800s. JFS services have continued to evolve to meet the community's needs. Providing strong individual and group pastoral care has become a cornerstone of JFS, with Rabbi Janina Foster at the helm. She works thoughtfully to ensure that her programming offers something unique to those who choose it, seeking to fill gaps in care that some may be experiencing. Out of this desire to provide came the Blessing Circle, a support group for those who have loved ones or close friends struggling with addiction or severe mental challenges. Rabbi Janina's personal experiences informed her creation of the group and the flow of its sessions, which allow for all group members to share struggles and discuss meeting topics. Additionally, she is in the process of launching Shabbat on the Trail, a new series of Shabbat walks and talks taking place at parks in and around Buffalo. To learn more about Rabbi Janina's groups or individual pastoral care, including caregiver and bereavement support, email yfoster@jfswny.org. Page 10. Calling all teens. Jewish teens across the community are invited to join BBYO, a national youth organization dedicated to bringing together Jewish teens from all backgrounds in a welcoming and inclusive environment. For more information, please contact Tamar Langberg at tamar.langberg@gmail.com. There is an announcement on the same page. Student to Student Buffalo. Attention 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. Come join an amazing group of local Jewish teens this fall through our Student to Student program. Our Student to Student program is a powerful way for you to be leaders in our community, sharing your Jewish story to middle and high schools throughout Western New York. Our program is flexible and inclusive. Please register for a fall orientation session at buffalojewishfederation.org/link-gatherings. Page 11. Welcoming new team members to Hillel of Buffalo. Hillel of Buffalo is excited to welcome two outstanding new professionals to its team as Hillel continues building vibrant Jewish life for students across colleges and universities throughout Buffalo. Stephanie Newberger, Springboard Fellow, and Levi Fishman, Israel Fellow. There is an announcement on the same page. Kick off the 2026-2027 school year at Hillel of Buffalo's Welcome Back Barbecue. It will be held on Sunday, August the 23rd at 1 p.m. To RSVP and for sponsorship opportunities, visit hillelofbuffalo.org/bbq. Page 13. Eshkol and Buffalo, a partnership in action. The Buffalo Jewish community is proud to continue strengthening its connection with the Eshkol region of Israel through Partnership Together, a global initiative that fosters meaningful relationships between Jewish communities around the world and communities in Israel. Since joining the partnership, Buffalo has begun laying the foundation for these relationships, led by Chair Ron Sadler. Located in Israel's western Negev near the Gaza border, Eshkol is home to 32 communities and was among the regions most deeply impacted by the events of October the 7th, 2023. Through partnerships together, Buffalo joins communities in northeastern New York and Mexico in building relationships rooted in shared experiences, mutual support, and a commitment to Jewish peoplehood. Partnership together is built on the belief that Jewish communities are stronger when we learn from, support, and engage with one another. Through educational programs, cultural exchanges, leadership development, and personal connections, the partnership creates opportunities for communities to build lasting relationships that extend beyond borders. Over the past year, Buffalo has begun developing meaningful connections with the people of Eshkol. This spring, community members had the opportunity to meet two residents from Kibbutz Nir Oz, hearing first-hand stories of resilience, recovery, and hope. In November, participants on Buffalo's Momentum Israel experience traveled with women from the Eshkol region and visited communities throughout the area. The experience fostered deep friendships that continue today through regular conversations and ongoing connections. Their relationship will continue to grow this summer when teens from Eshkol travel to Buffalo as part of a partnership to gather teen exchange, creating opportunities to build friendships, learn from one another, and strengthen their connection to Israel and the global Jewish community. As we look ahead, we are excited to deepen these connections and create new opportunities for engagement, learning, and shared experiences between Buffalo and Eshkol for years to come. To learn more or get involved, please contact Stacy Block at stacy@buffalojewishfederation.org. Page 14, Jewish Engagement and Learning Opportunities. Buffalo Jewish Federation proudly creates welcoming opportunities for Jews and their loved ones to celebrate, learn, explore, and connect with Jewish life, Jewish people, Jewish idea, Israel, and Jewish community in meaningful ways. For more information, contact Robin Kurtz, robin@buffalojewishfederation.org. The following will be courses that will be held. Jewish Learning Experiences. I Engage Liberal Zionism Between Crisis and Aspiration. The course will be held on Thursdays, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. From October the 8th until December the 3rd. The cost is $236 and the instructor is Rabbi Brent Gottman. Introduction to Judaism will be held on Wednesdays, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. from December the 2nd, 2026 until April the 14th, 2027 at the JCC Benderson Building. The cost is $280 and the instructors will be local clergy and educators. Gate to the Heart, Introduction to Kabbalah and Jewish Meditation will be held on Wednesdays 7 to 8 p.m. from October the 14th until December the 16th. The cost is $180 plus cost of book. Instructor is Rabbi Shlomo Shastre. Adult Beginner Hebrew Anthrope, Thursdays 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. from October the 8th until December the 3rd. The cost is $180 and the instructor is Cantor Susan Lewis Friedman. Intermediate and Advanced Hebrew Group Tutoring. It's by appointment and the cost is to be determined based on number of sessions. The instructor is Rabbi Shlomo Shaster. Page 15. Reverse Tachlish on Sunday, September the 6th from 1 to 2 p.m. Downtown location. Grab your gloves, a bag, and do a mitzvah inspired by Tachlich, a Jewish tradition observed after Rosh Hashanah. This family-friendly volunteer opportunity helps clean and protect our local waterways while putting Jewish values into action. Please register at bit.ly/reverse TASHLICH 2026. upcoming opportunities for PJ Library families. PJ and Me pop-up story time, first Thursday of each month, 10 to 11 a.m., various locations to be determined. For more information, email Robin Kurz at robin@buffalojewishfederation.org or follow PJ Library Buffalo on Instagram. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from the Jewish Journal on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Page 16, Hospice Pathways of Remembrance, Creating Spaces for Reflection and Connection. The Pathways of Remembrance initiative was created with a simple but powerful idea in mind: to build spaces that foster comfort, connection, and peace in Hospice Mitchell campus. We are pleased to share that Phase 1 of the plan is complete, and the new Stuart Gelman Family Pavilion officially opened on June the 4th. Thanks to the generosity of donors and community partners, Phase 1 began transforming a vision into reality. We are especially grateful to Stuart, his family, and several members of the Jewish community who have embraced this project and supported it with extraordinary generosity and spirit. Their commitment to honoring loved ones while creating a place of comfort for others has helped bringing this project to life. The pavilion now serves as a welcoming gathering place where patients, families, staff, and members of the community can spend time together and experience moments of peace. This was a summary of the article. Page 17, Mel Brooks Career Archives, now at National Comedy Center. Mel Brooks and the National Comedy Center, the United States Museum and National Archive, dedicated to the art form of comedy, announced that the center will become the home of Brooks Career Archives, one of the most comprehensive collections of comedic creative material ever preserved, encompassing works that sit at the core of America's cultural identity. The archive comprises nearly 150,000 creative and production documents and over 5,000 photographs, many never before seen. It offers an unparalleled record of Brooks' creative life and the development of works that transformed American comedy and culture, including Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, The Producers, Silent Movie, History of the World, Part 1, and Spaceballs, along with extensive materials from every feature film Brooks directed across his multifaceted career. Spanning more than 6 decades, the archive begins with Brooks' earliest handwritten comedic notes created during his service in the U.S. Army during World War II. It then moves through rare materials from his years writing for the legendary Sid Caesar on television series like Your Show of Shows. These early pages reveal the foundations of Brooks' instinct for structure, rhythm, and irreverence, instincts that would later define his revolutionary approach to satire and parody. I have always been proud to say that I make people laugh for a living, so knowing that my work will have a home at Comedy's National Archive and continue making people laugh leaves me with a deep sense of pride, said Mel Brooks. I am honored that my contributions will be preserved for future generations at the National Comedy Center, especially because it's a place that was meaningful to my best friend Carl Reiner, who believed in the importance of preserving comedy's history. As the collection progresses into Brooks' film career, it presents a remarkable chronicle of his artistic evolution. Drafts, revisions, production documents, notes, and visual materials capture the development of comedic ideas from concept to screen, illustrating how Brooks refined sequences, characters, and jokes through collaboration, instinct, and fearless experimentation. Mel Brooks' archive represents an unparalleled primary source record of how a singular artist reshaped narrative, satire, and cinematic form, all through the lens of comedy, said Journey Gunderson, executive director of the NCC. Preserving this material is not simply an act of stewardship, it is the safeguarding of a vital cultural legacy that will inform scholarship, creative inquiry, and historical understanding for generations. Among the collection's most exceptional elements are rare and historically significant items from Brooks' classic films, including his World War II-era comedy notebook, the original handwritten lyrics to the song Springtime for Hitler from the producers, extensive storyboards and visual development materials from Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, Silent Movie, and other films, and a remarkable assembly of never before or rarely seen behind-the-scenes photographs capturing Brooks directing, rehearsing, and collaborating throughout his career. This was a summary of the article. Page 18, save the date, Midlife Bash will be held on Wednesday, August the 12th from 7 to 9 p.m. For more information, please contact Robin at buffalojewishfederation.org. Songs of Praise, Temple Beth Tzedek to celebrate Cantor Spindler's retirement. Temple Beth Tzedek will be honoring its dear cantor Mark Spindler as he retires from his longtime role this summer and becomes the congregation's cantor emeritus. This well-deserved milestone will be celebrated with a special kiddush on Shabbat morning, July the 18th, and will culminate with a gala on Sunday night, August the 2nd. For more information, please visit btzbuffalo.org. Page 19. The Jewish future does not build itself. The Jewish Discovery Center is entering a new chapter and inviting the community to help create a lasting home for learning, celebration, kindness, and Jewish pride. For more than 5 decades, Rabbi Heschel and Leah Greenberg have devoted themselves to strengthening Jewish life in Buffalo. Over the past several decades, that vision has taken root and flourished through the JDC, a welcoming home where Jewish life is learned, celebrated, shared, and strengthened. Families, seniors, students, seekers, newcomers, and longtime community members have all found within its doors warmth, dignity, and a place to belong. Now JDC enters a new chapter through a major building renovation campaign to transform the existing facility into a beautiful, modern, welcoming home for the entire community. This is not simply about walls, floors, lighting, and furnishings. It is about creating a space worthy of the sacred work that happens within. To learn more about the campaign, naming opportunities, or how to participate, please visit jewishdiscovery.org/time-to-build or contact Rabbi Greenberg at 716-245-9520. Page 20. Young Israel honors Sonia Klein and beloved community members. A beloved member of Young Israel and a 100-year-old Holocaust survivor, Sonia passed away in late March on the Hebrew date of Zayin Sivan, a date established to memorialize all who died at Auschwitz, where Sonia's family perished. Generously sponsored by family and friends of Aunt Sonia, as she was lovingly called by her Young Israel family, the luncheon included the entire congregation and guests that was catered by Buffalo Kosher Gourmet. Highlights included the Siyum led by Rabbi Avi Oking and heartfelt memories of Aunt Sonia and Uncle Joe shared by family and friends. their harrowing experiences during the Holocaust and remarkable survival, their serendipitous meeting, the life they built in beloved Buffalo with their son Alan, family members, and fellow Holocaust survivors, their success in business despite early poverty and hardship, and their enduring commitment to Kashrut, Orthodox Judaism, their synagogue, and tzedakah. Sonia and Joy Klein were role models of kindness, compassion, hard work, fortitude, and trust in Hashem. Their relationship was a testament to their love for each other and love for family and community members. They mentored so many people at Young Israel, and their memory will be treasured as cherished family members. In addition, Young Israel also honored the blessed memory of Mikey Max Stern, who passed away recently and was the nephew of the Kleins. Max and Debbie, his wife, are noteworthy philanthropists who have donated many ambulances to Israeli organizations. Magen David Adam. Their generosity to Young Israel is legendary, as they paid their remainder of the shul mortgage several years ago. As a final act of chesed, in addition to family members, several community members were remembered fondly: Lois Fried, Elaine Ram Krumbine, Sue Carroll, Toby Tichting-Bach, Larry Levin, Naomi Freeman, Dr. Ursula Falk, and Elaine Tolsma. Page 21. Temple Beth Zion will have several events. On Friday, July the 24th, there will be a food truck Shabbat on Brothers Center at 7:15 p.m. On Friday, August the 28th, there will be the end of summer Shavetas and S'mores Brothers Center at 7:15 p.m. Rabbi Shlomo Shachter's hidden talent. Anyone who has spent time at Keilat Or Zion knows that Rabbi Shlomo is passionate about prayer, teaching, and lifelong learning. Students at Hillel of Buffalo, along with the many community members who have attended his classes or heard him speak, have seen that dedication firsthand. If you are interested in attending any of Rabbi Shlomo's classes, email him at rabbischchter75@gmail.com. Announcement on page 22nd. Gan Israel Day Camp. Give your child the Jewish pride they truly deserve. For boys 3 to 8 years and girls 3 to 12 years old. Dates and times: July the 6th until August the 13th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Register at GanIsraelBuffalo.com/register or call 716-834-1915. Page 23. Gem Kids Club opens registration. The Jewish Discovery Center is excited to announce registration for the upcoming season of Gem Kids Club Jewish Enrichment Matters beginning this September. The 2026-2027 season begins this September. For more information or to register, call 716-908-0133. The club offers children a warm, joyful, and engaging after-school Jewish experience where they build confidence, friendships, and Jewish pride. The program takes place Tuesday afternoons from 3:45 until 5:30 p.m. and includes a child-friendly dinner. Page 26. Mitzvah Tank brings Jewish connection to Niagara Falls. For Western New Yorkers, Niagara Falls is more than a tourist destination. It is where we bring visiting relatives, take family photos, and return time and again to one of the world's great natural wonders. For thousands of Jewish visitors each year, however, a trip to the falls can also become a moment of Jewish connection. Chabad Niagara Falls, USA led by Rabbi Yehuda and Mrs. Yehudis Lorber, operates a mitzvah tank at Niagara Falls State Park, part of a larger Chabad initiative found in cities across the country. The mitzvah tank serves as a mobile Jewish welcome center, bringing Jewish life and resources directly to people where they are. Thanks to a special permit from the New York State Parks, Chabad is able to station the vehicle within the park itself, reaching visitors in one of the region's busiest destinations. Amid the steady flow of tourists from around the world, the mitzvah tank offers a simple message. Jewish travelers are not alone here. Whether visiting for the day, vacationing with family, or simply passing through, visitors are greeted with a smile, a conversation, and an opportunity to do a mitzvah. Some stop to put on tefillin, others pick up Shabbat candles, ask about kosher food, or take home Jewish materials for their children. Many simply appreciate seeing a visible Jewish presence at the falls. Visitors include tourists from Israel, families from New York and Toronto, and local Jews delighted to encounter Jewish life in such a public setting. Their work extends beyond the summer season. Throughout the year, Chabad hosts holiday programs at the falls, including Sukkot and Hanukkah celebrations that share Jewish pride in a welcoming and accessible way. In a place known for rushing water and crowded observation decks, the mitzvah tank offers something quieter but equally powerful, a personal Jewish connection. For many visitors, it transforms a trip to Niagara Falls into a moment of Jewish pride, warmth, and belonging. For more information, please visit CHABAD NiagaraFallsUSA.org. There are several announcements on page 27. Hadassah continues summer garden party tradition. Buffalo Hadassah will continue its annual summer garden party tradition on July the 30th in the garden of Rise Kulik. The event brings members together to enjoy a beautiful outdoor setting, hear from guest speakers, and connect with fellow supporters. To find out more about the garden party or other Hadassah summer events, email mkatzel@me.com. CJL Summer Events. The Center for Jewish Life is looking forward to an exciting summer filled with community celebrations, inspiring music, and family-friendly programs that bring people together. The season begins with the 4th of July barbecue on Sunday, July the 5th, from 5 to 7 p.m. For more information, please visit jewishbuffalo.com. Congregation Shir Shalom has several events this summer. On July the 10th, Buffalo Corner Reading Series under the tent at 6 p.m. On July the 17th, the 24th, the 31st, August the 7th, August the 14th, and August the 21st, and August 28th, there will be a Rev Shabbat service at 6 p.m. The Center for Jewish Life on Sunday, August the 9th, 2026 at 5 p.m. will hold a community summer concert and barbecue. For more information, call 716-639-7600. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from the Jewish Journal on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Page 28, Jewish Museum of Buffalo School Year in Review. As the school year ends, the Jewish Museum of Buffalo reflects on an extraordinary year of education, outreach, and community engagement through the Blum Jewish Education Project. The museum has welcomed more than 120 visiting groups from across Western New York, representing a diverse range of educational institutions from kindergarten through college. Among the most rewarding visits were those from Buffalo Public Schools history teachers and the Williamsville Central School District's high school social studies faculty. In addition, art and architecture tours for participants in the special education vocational programs at Starlight Studio and McKinley High School were among the most memorable. These tours introduced visitors to the sanctuary's monumental architecture, the stained glass masterpieces of Ben Shahn, and a collection of artifacts that connect Buffalo's Jewish history to broader American stories of identity, immigration, and civic engagement. Many of these objects were generously donated by local families and members of Temple Beth Zion over its 176-year history, preserving a rich legacy of Jewish life in Buffalo and throughout western New York. Educational outreach extended beyond schools. Community partners included the 20th Century Club, the Darwin Martin House, Arts Services Inc., the Scouts of America, Gurney, Becker, and Byrne, Explore Buffalo, Locust Street Arts, the WASH Project, and elected leaders. Programming grew through collaborative events and creative partnerships, such as My Superpowers of Joy, the youth art exhibition that features more than 70 young artists from throughout the region. The opening celebration welcomed over 100 attendees, made up entirely of the participating artists and their families. The exhibition demonstrated how art can bring people together, create spaces of inclusion, and help stomp out hate through creativity, empathy, and shared joy. The museum was also honored to host the Erie County History Bee, complete with War of 1812 reenactors. When people enter the Jewish Museum of Buffalo, many are experiencing a Jewish space for the first time. Workshops that explore Jewish history, symbolism, and world awareness demonstrate how museums can foster understanding through shared cultural experiences. School may be out for the summer, but learning at the Jewish Museum of Buffalo is just getting started. Education Director Ruby Merritt gleefully encourages you to plan a group visit with an organization this summer. Tours remain free at this time through the Blum Jewish Education Project. To schedule a summer group visit, please contact ruby@jmbuffalo.org. Page 32. Not the Last Word, Meditating on Generosity by Rob Goldberg. As I approach the end of my professional tenure at the Buffalo Jewish Federation, I am awash in gratitude, grateful for the opportunity to give back to my hometown, and deeply appreciative of my colleagues, especially my successor and dear friend Miriam Abramovich, and the extraordinary volunteer leaders with whom I have partnered this past decade. With a bit more time available these days, I also find myself increasingly reflective. Maybe it's age, maybe it's simply stepping back from the relentless pace of full-time work. Whatever the reason, I am awestruck by the life I have been blessed with, thankful for the opportunities that have found me, and curious about what it means to continue making a difference in this next chapter. Like many people navigating the transition from a long career to what comes next, I have discovered something unexpected. While I may no longer work full-time, my desire to contribute has only grown stronger. What has changed is not the impulse to give back, but the freedom to think differently about how. I was reminded of that recently while participating in my 16th ride for Roswell. This year, I joined a new team of riders, but experienced what I have always cherished about the event. the opportunity to support an institution that has touched countless lives, including my mother and my dear friend Leslie Kramer. The ride is, of course, about raising critical funds for research and care, and I always lean into the quest to meet, if not exceed, my fundraising goal. But over time, I have come to appreciate that generosity is not measured only in dollars raised. Some of the most meaningful forms of generosity emerge from a much humbler place. I am also reading more these days. One recent favorite was the debut novel Theo of Golden by Alan Levy. It tells the story of an elderly stranger who arrives in a small Georgia town and quietly transforms the lives of those around him. At its core, the novel is a meditation on generosity, not generosity expressed through grand gestures, but generosity as a way of seeing other people. Theo notices others, he listens, he encourages. Again and again, he offers a gift that has become increasingly rare, his full attention. As I read the book, I found myself wondering whether this is one of the great opportunities of later life, when career ambitions, overflowing calendars, and endless deadlines begin to loosen their grip. Perhaps we gain the chance to become a little more like Theo. We have more time to notice, to listen, and to invest in others. I was also struck by the book's deeply Jewish themes. Although Theo is not Jewish, his actions embody values we hold dear. Chesed, loving kindness, tzedakah, righteous generosity, and the belief that every person is created Tselem Elohim, in the image of God. I recommended Theo of Golden to my lifelong friend, Rose Devorah Wallen, and she, like me, devoured the book. She observed that Theo's generosity was not simply about giving things. Rather, it was about giving people access to beauty, wisdom, and possibility. At one point in the novel, Theo reflects that God gave us faces so we can see each other better. It is a deceptively simple observation, yet it suggests that generosity begins not with giving, but with seeing. Before we can help one another, we must first recognize them. Before we can extend kindness, we must acknowledge their humanity. The psalmist teaches the world is built through kindness. Psalm 89:3. Perhaps one of the gifts of growing older is the realization that making a difference is often less about doing more and more about being present. To lean into the now and offer encouragement, share wisdom, open doors, and help others flourish. A truly generous person does not simply give something away, they enlarge another person's world. Theo understood that, and as I look ahead, I hope to embrace that challenge, to practice kindness more intentionally, to give more freely of myself, and to remember that some of the most important contributions we make are not measured by titles, accomplishments, or recognition, but by the lives we touch along the way. Rob Goldberg served the Buffalo Jewish Federation from 2015 to 2026 as CEO and later as senior advisor. He currently volunteers with Hospice and Palliative Care Buffalo and Hillel at Bryant University, and recently was elected president of Temple Beth Tzedec. You have been listening to a reading of articles and features from the July-August 2026 issue of the Jewish Journal. Your reader has been Marianne. Thank you for listening.